Hello and welcome to Do You Know That's Football? Do you know it's that football? It is That's Football. Getting a little bit confused there. Imagine if you didn't know what the United stand was. You'd be like, what are you on about? So, yes, hello and welcome to That's Football. This is our Chelsea versus Barcelona watch-along. For anybody who's interested in the Champions League and what a start it was last week, this is a must-see game. But if you're a Manchester United fan, maybe you just want to watch it just to get a little bit of a glimpse of Chelsea. If you're a Ronaldo fan like me, maybe you just want to have a look at the B-Tech version in Messi. I'm not joking, I prefer Ronaldo to Messi, and I know that's going to be controversial. But you're all very, very welcome. Looking forward to this game for sure. Loved PSG versus Real Madrid last week and the Juventus Spurs game. So hoping that tonight's game will be good as well. We'll keep an eye on Bayern Munich versus Besiktas. It's going to be a very interesting Champions League this year, and we're not even in the quarterfinals, so lots to be excited about. The teams, Thibaut Courtois in goal, or Courtois, whatever it is, for Chelsea, with Moses, Azpilicueta, Christensen, Rudiger, Alonso, so that back five or 3-4-3, Willian, Kante, Fabregas, Pedro and Eden Hazard. No traditional forward. Morata's on the bench. Giroud's on the bench, Zabacosta, Cahill, Hudson-Odoi, Drinkwater and Caballero. It's interesting about Chelsea, isn't it? You know, you look at the signings that Conte's made, they've not really worked out. Bakayoko and Morata, Rudiger to start. But, I mean, even from a United perspective, I do look at that 11 for Chelsea and I think, you know what? Yeah, on their day they can beat teams. But I look at Barcelona's Ter Stegen, Sergi, Piqué, Umtiti, Alba, Busquets, Rakitic, Iniesta, Paulinho, Suarez, Messi. I mean, Paulinho is the interesting one. Bit of a flop at Spurs, but it does very well for Barcelona. Suarez, Dembele, Silasson, Dean, Andre Gomez, Vidal and Vermaelen make up the bench. Not a massively strong bench for Barcelona. Coutinho, obviously not playing, and Dembele, interesting if we'll see him. Spent a lot of money on him in the summer, coming back from an injury. But obviously all eyes will fall onto people like Messi, Suarez. But Iniesta, Rakitic, Busquets, we know what we're going to get with those. So very, very excited by this game. Looking forward to it big time. If you're new to That's Football, please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Get involved with the channel. We do the odd watch along. We try to do a couple a week, but there is going to be more content up on here. So if you are a fan of football in general, make sure you subscribe and get involved with it. We'd really appreciate your company on it. So let's have a look. I mean, let's see if we can get 23,000 subscribers tonight. Share. And get as many people involved as possible. I'd love to have some Chelsea and Barcelona fans on. Really would. That's what That's Football's all about. You don't have to be a Chelsea and Barcelona fan. You could just be a fan of football. But really would like to get a bit of a people who it matter to. Hello, I can see myself on the screen, says YouTube Gamer 101. And Xander's ignoring people apparently. Anything in Iniesta to China or no, says Andrew K. Nothing at the moment because he's playing football, but Coutinho on the bench. Did I miss Coutinho on the bench? I didn't see him on the bench. So, can he be on the bench? Unless they call him something else over there. Can I have a shout out? YouTube Gamer 101, you just had it. Chelsea upset incoming, says Nathan Brown. Well, it's interesting from a Manchester United point of view. If you're a United fan, I know we'll have a few on. Interesting just to keep an eye on them, but I don't think they'll set up like this for that game anyway. No traditional forward. United are losing to Sevilla tomorrow. You heard it here first, says S. Noston Monday. What's my prediction for the game? I'm going to go... I've got a funny feeling it might be... I've got a funny feeling Chelsea might raise it, home advantage. I think Barcelona would be happy with a score draw. So I'm going to go score draw. I mean, Sports HQ says 1-1. I wouldn't be surprised if it was that. Chelsea have a surprisingly good record against Barcelona, says Pratic. I'll never forget that controversial one at Stamford Bridge years ago when Drogba was going mad about the ref. Coutinho's cup-tied. Of course he is. Yeah, I get confused by all these people being cup-tied. Loads of people saying it as well. Of course, Coutinho played in the Champions League for Liverpool. What we're seeing with Arsenal and Giroud, they're a Europa League team, so he can play in the Champions League. Mkhitaryan for Arsenal can play in the Europa League because he played Champions League with Manchester United. Sanchez with Manchester United can play Champions League because he played Europa League with Arsenal. So, but in the case of Liverpool, they were Champions League. So Coutinho is cup tied, and Mohamed Tawar has just confirmed it. 4-0 Barcelona win, says Wayne J. Drogba the legend, says Sam. Just want to, we might have a few Chelsea fans on here, and I know we'll have a few United fans on here. I just want to say this. I was talking to somebody at work about this last week, and not in a bad way. We were saying that the way that Lukaku gets called the new Drogba effectively is just because of the colour of his skin. There is no correlation really between, and obviously Lukaku was at Chelsea, because they're nothing like each other. I mean, it pains me to say this. It was a bit like when Mourinho was in charge at Chelsea. I didn't like him. I didn't like Mourinho because he was very, very good. And I didn't like Drogba because he was an arsehole to play against. But technique-wise, he had really good touch, really good close control, flicks, can dribble with the ball. He's not like Lukaku at all. They're nothing like each other, and it really makes me laugh when people say, "Oh, they're like each other." They're not. I remember Drogba vividly, as many people will. Very different players. Drogba, to be honest, in the modern game, would be even more successful than he was 10 years ago because he's quick, he's strong, his control and technique were superb. Volleys, everything. Really, really top striker, and did brilliantly for Chelsea, but nothing like Lukaku. Andrew K. Drogba was excellent. I hate to admit it. I'm the same, Andrew. I did not like him at all, but looking back on it now, I mean, even then I knew. Very, very good striker. Just played for one of our biggest rivals. Dembele's on the bench. Macho Man Rick Savaging. I like that name. Liverpool, says YouTube Gamer 101. Hazard to Sevilla, says, no, I don't think that's going to happen. Drogba was class, says Breach69. Who do I think is going to win? I think over the tie, Barcelona will win. They'll absolutely destroy them. Destroy them, I tell you, at the Nou Camp. So Chelsea, I've got it all to play for, really. Great player Drogba was, says Mini Diver. Hazard has to step up, says Eden Neymar. Hi Mark, says Sebastian United. Mark, can Iniesta win it again for Barca like we did in 2009, says Pankaj. I just think, generally talking about this Champions League, this is a fantastic Champions League, an absolutely fantastic Champions League. I can't give you the winner. My predicted winner is actually Real Madrid, which is quite boring considering that they've won the last two, but I just feel that if I had to pick somebody, it's Real Madrid, Barcelona or Man City. I hate to say that. I think they're the three favourites. I think there's three groups, like I said last week. And I think in the next group you've probably got teams like Bayern Munich, the winner of Spurs or Juventus, and then I put United and Liverpool in probably in the third group. So very interesting, one of the best Champions Leagues in ages, and I think we're seeing that in this knockout stage. This isn't. I mean, imagine what the quarterfinals are going to be. We're already getting great ties in the knockout stage, and I hope it's like this for years to come. The Champions League has always had the glitz and the glamour, but it's not normally delivered. You've either had the years where the English teams dominated, or more recently where Barcelona and Real Madrid have dominated. So I really hope that we do get some really interesting ties. We're not 46 minutes in. I'm just getting the timer all set up for you. So let me reset. Stop. Okay, that should be like that. Brilliant. Great. Okay, we're all set to go. The players are about to come out. I'm going to go for a score draw 1-1. I just hope we get a lot of goals. I just thought, you know what? I've got to put my hands up. As a Manchester United fan, I am deprived of watching good football at the moment. And last week was a real treat watching Spurs and Juventus and PSG and Real Madrid. So I'm hoping for a footballing treat tonight, which I'm sure we will get from Barcelona. So looking forward to it. Pratic says Madrid, Liverpool, Spurs, City, Barca, Bayern, Roma, potential quarterfinalists. It's going to be hot. Good. Everyone's here. Please share the video, everybody, and do subscribe if you're new. I know we'll have a lot of United standers with us tonight, so please do subscribe and get involved with the channel. Support it. Let's see if we can get up to... let's see what we can do. Let's grow another channel together. And lots of score predictions coming in now, which is nice. Mohamed Tajwa says, breaking news, 3-1 to Barcelona. Let's see if he's right. Breach69 says 3-0 Barca. Vivito United says 3-1 Barca. Alfosu Kofi says 1-0 to Barca. So a lot of people feel that Barcelona are going to win. There'll be no correlation between the way Manchester United approach this game and Barcelona for Sunday it'll be. But it's interesting to get an eye on Chelsea. I mean, I'm personally Manchester United fan as well. I have to keep that in the back of my head, and obviously have to keep thinking about the game on Sunday. And I am interested by this Chelsea back line because they've changed it a lot. Cahill doesn't even start anymore. What they got, Christensen and Rudiger. And I forget who makes up their back three. Let me have a look. Aspilicueta, Rudiger, Moses. Oh no, I thought it was for some reason I thought that they weren't playing a back four, but it looks like they are. I take it David Luiz. Does anyone know what happened to David Luiz? Got any Chelsea fans? Is he just like confined to the reserves under Conte? He just doesn't get any game time and is on ridiculous money. Really, really good. Really funny that, isn't it? Another mess. But Joel Atuta says Chelsea 2-1. Darth Vader says 2-2. Cahill's too slow, says Mohammed. And hi Mark, says Salim Hussein. Hello Salim. Chelsea wanting to rest their strikers for United, says Jay Hart. I think Barcelona are going to take a revenge for the last meeting, Wayne J. I mean, that's an interesting point, isn't it, there? That, you know, Chelsea could potentially be resting. I don't think they are, but they could potentially be resting strikers to play Manchester United on Sunday so that they've got a good, you know, they're fresh to battle for top four. Why does top four matter? Because you get in the Champions League. What's tonight? Champions League. You know, it could be that weird that Conte is more concerned about Manchester United on Sunday in Champions League qualification than an actual Champions League game. I always find that weird. It's a bit like Arsenal, didn't they? They used to obsess about coming fourth because they had to be in the Champions League, but then every year they'd be knocked out at the first knockout stage. It's a sort of hypocrisy, I suppose, but there's a lot of money in it. Messi has to step up given what Ronaldo has done in the last two Champions Leagues, says Irish Rambler. Very good point. Very good point. I mean, I'd say Messi's probably going to win the Ballon d'Or this year because Ronaldo's not had a great season. But having said that, it could all be down to the Champions League again. Karen Sarai has said 6-0. Harry Cohen says Conte fell out with David Luiz. Yeah, I was aware of that. I just didn't realise he'd fallen out with him so bad that he can't even get in the squad. Be interesting to keep an eye on Titi. He's been Titi. He's been it's a funny old name if you're childish. He has been linked to Manchester United and a few other English clubs as well. So let's see what he's all about. But we've got 548 people watching now, which is great for the channel. Keep subscribing. Keep just share it. Share it on your social media. Let's see how many people we can get watching with us tonight. Lovely stuff. Lovely to have you. Barcelona will lay the smackdown on Chelsea, but Hazard will be excellent. Don't underestimate Chelsea, says Anton Priestley. Who's my favourite all-time Barcelona player, says Pankaj. Ooh, Ronald Koeman. No, this isn't really. My all-time favourite Barcelona player, Gary Lineker. He did quite well there, to be fair. Maradona played for Barcelona as well. I'm older than a lot of people. I'll tell you who I did like growing up. This will tell you the era I'm from, because a lot of you will say who. Hristo Stoichkov. I liked him. I don't know why. I'm going a little bit Irish, but I did. Titty, what I think all the time, says Joey O. He's in there. He's in there. Let's hope we see a lot of them, Titty, tonight. Chelsea going to park the bus, says Farouz. Hazard equals overrated. Okay, the game is about to kick off, so I have to get ready with the timer. But I mean, let's just sit back and enjoy it. This is what these watch-alongs are about. A little bit, no pressure unless you support Chelsea or Barcelona. The game is off, and let's see what they can do. We're just sat chilling out watching a football match, which is great. Am I doing a nice dancing watch-along, says Peasy. No, I'm not. Just having a quick look at the sort of formations. Looks like Chelsea are trying to sort of stick Hazard centrally up and then have Willian to the right and Pedro to the left. So it's a 4-3-3 really. but Willian and Pedro will drop in when they haven't got the ball, which is not a bad idea when you're playing a team like Barcelona. Of course, Chelsea, the smallest ground of the top 6. Let me get... I've lost my live comments. I hate it when I do that. Where have they gone? Okay. Wander says his favourite Barcelona player of all time is Pep Guardiola. There's always one, isn't there? But welcome you are to the show, Wander. You don't show the screen, says Dylan. Let him know. What are my thoughts on Wigan, says Clarence Song. I was absolutely stunned that Wigan beat Man City last night. Even with 10 men, I didn't think they could do it. Great for football. I don't want to use that pun because it's the name of the channel, but that's football. It really is. I thought that when I was walking downstairs last night to get myself a glass of water at midnight, I thought, it's a funny old game, isn't it? That's football. I mean football. But, you know, Man City should have... I nearly called him Man City. Man City... I was doing a bit of a Sean Connery. Man City. Man City should have been looking at winning that FA Cup. I mean, they're not invincibles because Liverpool beat them. They're not treble winners because they're out the FA Cup. Do not start to me about League Cup, League and Champions League being a treble. It's not. It is not. The only treble that counts is FA Cup, Premier League, Champions League. League Cup's not in a treble. Liverpool tried this in 2001 with their League Cup, FA Cup, UEFA Cup. No. If you don't win the league, definitely not. FA Cup's got to be in there and the Champions League. That's a treble. So Man City aren't going to do that. I still think Man City have got a good chance in the Champions League though, I must say. Here's a little bit of a mistake. Barcelona on the attack. And the first little touches for Messi. Let's see what you got. Your B-Tech Ronaldo. Tackled. And Willian's away down the right-hand side now. I do like Willian. He's just lost the ball. Titty, Sophie off Chelsea Fan TV, says David Miller. Oh, you know when you read a comment, it's too late. PK, formerly United, but Barcelona, the away team, but typically confident with the ball. Probably favourites, Barcelona. I don't know about you lot. I mean, who's your favourite? Yeah, let's have a bit of interaction going early doors here. Who is your favourite for the Champions League? I mean, I've said Real Madrid, I think will win it, but favourites, probably Barcelona, dominating La Liga, very well clear. They've got the pedigree, they've got the better players, they've got they've got the winter break, so Barcelona probably favourites. She was only 14 years old, Jack. Willian at full pace there, but unable to get past Jordi Alba, who's very quick. Hazard in control of the ball, gives it out wide. Fabregas against one of his former clubs. Chelsea having a bit of possession here themselves, little passes. Of course, they can't put the ball into the box because they don't have players to do it. And a long shot from Hazard there over bar. City Barcelona in the final, says Ragul. I think where Man City might come unstuck in the Champions League, if I'm totally honest, is that if Liverpool or United are in Europe, then they always know that the home tie, Anfield or Old Trafford, it's got an atmosphere, especially European nights. It's got an atmosphere and that can be worth a goal. Man City are just going to have to play good football because they haven't got an atmosphere. They haven't got an intimidating ground. So that could be quite a good leveller if you're a Barcelona or a Real Madrid. You know you're going to get the advantage of a big home crowd and an atmosphere. But you know when you go to the Etihad, you know it'll be full, but it'll be full with tourists who don't even support City or haven't done for a long time. So they haven't yet bought any support that can make an intimidating atmosphere. Manchester United can beat anyone, says Wesley. They can lose to everyone as well. Barcelona can win this game, says Texera Major. And ole Ander Herrera, says Wesley again. Is there an 8 o'clock show on the United stand today, says Jason McDonough. No. Did the preview at 1 o'clock today for Sevilla. Really looking forward to that. So that's your lot on the United stand for tonight. Because I was always going to watch this game, and then people were saying, can you do a watch along on That's Football? I said, of course I can. Of course I can. I'm more than happy to watch it with you lot. So Man City won't reach Champions League final. It'll be Barca versus Real. I can't remember ever having a Barcelona Real Madrid final. I know we've got close a few times, but I can't remember a Barcelona Real Madrid final. Am I wrong with that? I do remember Atletico Madrid Real Madrid finals, but I don't remember a El Clasico final. Bayern Munich are the ones to watch. I mean, they always are a bit like Spurs in the Premier League. A good team, bridesmaids, never the bride. But some people think that they might be worth a shout. I still think it's a very exciting tournament, and long may that continue. I'm just going to run you through the Bayern Munich team actually, because I haven't seen it much myself lately. And I've not seen much about Bayern Munich this season because they play in such a pub league, and I've not really been interested by any of their Champions League games yet. So I'm looking forward to watching them, presuming they get through. Robben and Ribéry both on bench. They've got Ulrich in goal, Kimmich, Boateng, Hummels, Alaba, Rodriguez of the James type, Javi Martinez, Vidal, Muller, Lewandowski and Kingsley Coman. Not a bad side. I must say that's not a bad side. On their bench, Wagner, Sully, Ribéry, Robben, Rafinha, Stark and Tolisso. So very, very good. They've got a good team, Bayern Munich, but it's hard to tell how good they are until they start playing some of the better teams, because it is a pub league that they play in. Harsh says there's never been a Barcelona versus Real Madrid final as much as I know. I didn't think there was. But Chelsea on the attack here anyway. Let's talk about this game a little bit. Cross, and it's going to be a corner, which means Chelsea can get their big men up from the back. They've got no big men up front. No Morata and no Giroud. He's gone with 3 little men up front in Pedro, Willian and Hazard. Tactical genius, Conte? Think not. But at the moment it's 0-0 and they do have a chance from a corner here that Willian is going to take. So Christensen will come up. Rudiger has scored from crosses in the past. This referee, I forget his name, but he's a bit of a plonker. I do remember him being a bit of a plonker. It might have been the one that sent Nani off actually. Here it is. Rudiger is up and he heads it wide. Doesn't get enough on it. I did quite like Rudiger at Roma, to be honest. But again, how many centre-backs come from Italy and do well? Not many. How many defenders come from Italy? The Premier League's a bit of a graveyard for them. They don't do that well. But he got up well there. He's good in the air. Mbappe to Chelsea, says Afosa. Chelsea are sitting back, says Adam T. I haven't really got, I don't like Conte for obvious reasons, but I haven't really got a problem with Team City. I mean, can you imagine what Mourinho would do against Barcelona? I think he'd get sacked that night. Messi, no, they're not getting close to him here. He's on a good run, switches it out wide, cross comes in, and they clear it. But can you imagine if Manchester United played Barcelona at Old Trafford and he sits back and parks the bus? God. But you've got to play clever, and I think what Conte's done, in fairness, taking away the fact that I don't like him because I think some of the things he said about Mourinho were uncalled for. What he's actually done here is he's playing 3 little quick men up front because, and that's not a derogatory term by the way. There is a point to this. If you play your big men stereotypically are slower, and at what point is he going to be using a target guy in a game like this? He knows he's going to have to get men behind the ball. He knows he needs men to get behind the ball very quickly, and he wants to and when they get the ball, he wants to spring quickly. So he's not really going to be using many long balls or crosses. So, this is lovely though from Messi. Final ball not quite good. I've always said that about Messi. He could be a great player, but his final ball is rubbish. There'll be sarcasm on this show. There will be sarcasm. But Barcelona just having a lot. I mean, Barcelona, to be honest with you, they probably know 1-0's fine, you know. You go toe-to-toe with Barcelona, you're going to get hurt. This Barcelona team's not as good as the team that won it around 2010 and 11 and around then. They were a very, very good side. And but this ain't a bad Barcelona side. But let's not forget, Real Madrid have been the dominant force in La Liga for a couple of years now. Wesley, I would happily do it. I doubt I'd get invited. I would use long balls against a short team like Barca, says AJ now. But the thing is, yeah, I can see what you mean, AJ, but you're going to spend so long having to get behind the ball that for a tall man, if they're not mobile, it removes a player, whereas Hazard's tenacious and small, isn't he? That Barca 09 side was good. Mark, do you know the lineup? Says Jason McDonough. I do. I pretty much can do Chelsea off the top of my head. Courtois in goal. Azpilicueta, Rudiger and Christensen with Alonso. Kante, Fabregas and Hazard, Pedro, Willian. There's another one I've forgotten. Kante, Fabregas and Victor Moses. Barcelona will be harder. Hazard's on a little bit of a run here into the box as well. It's a good run. Oh, he's still got it. Hazard, cut back. No, handball by Kante. Surely a handball by Kante. I'll go to the Barcelona team. I don't want to come across as stupid. I've done it before. So Ter Stegen in goal. Sergi, Piqué, Umtiti, Alba, Paulinho, Rakitic, Busquets, Iniesta, Messi, Luis Suarez, and then Ousmane Dembele is on the bench for those who are interested in that. Which I am. I'd like to see him come on and play a few games. Who are you supporting tonight, by the way? United fan here, says Maya Cassie. Barcelona. You know, I normally sit on the fence, but Barcelona, yeah. It's beneficial for Manchester United for Chelsea to get absolutely annihilated tonight because we're playing them on Sunday. And if they beat Barcelona at home, they'll get some confidence from it, and I don't want that to happen. So it's totally tribal. I don't, that's football, isn't? That's football. Anybody's welcome, and if you're a Chelsea fan, I'm not going to start having a pop at you or anything like that. It really is because I support United and we're playing you on Sunday, and I want you to lose. Simple as that. Nearly got 1,000 people watching, so thank you to everybody who's joined in. Click that subscribe button, bottom right hand corner. If you've found us new, click your subscribe button, get your bell on, and get involved with That's Football. We've got daily content coming up on the channel, pretty much from Thursday. Every day we're looking to get content up on the channel, and lots and lots of ideas for us as well. So get involved, we're going to have call-ins and all that. Sander's done a few already. So if you like AJ and L and you love football, get involved with That's Football. And get subscribing and get sharing. We're nearly at 1,000 people watching, which would be great. Absolutely great. Philip Hammond's just joined. Bangrudge says, Mark is supporting Barcelona. I love football, but I love United more, says Wesley. Support the English team. No. I never do that. I never support the English team because I've never have. I'm such a big and vindictive Manchester United fan. I can't find it in me to ever want the English team to win. Although, I must be honest, Spurs last week against Juventus, I was probably the closest I've ever been to wanting an English team to win it. I do quite like Spurs because they're just quite neutral. They never win anything. Liverpool, can't stand them. Man City, obviously, big rivals. And Chelsea, we're playing them on Sunday. So... But if Chelsea got a result here tonight and played really well, I wouldn't, I'm not going to start, pulling my hair out like Conte. I'm more than happy if a team plays well and deserves it. Cross, poor, really poor, that is. Is that the Spurs flop? Messi must be furious. Why didn't he just let it drop onto his foot? So Messi gets it on the left-hand side of the box. Lovely little chipped cross to the penalty spot. And it drops to him on the head. He probably hasn't got time to let it drop on his foot because he can hit it on the volley, so he's only got time to head it. Paulinho, and he heads it well wide. But I thought he had time just to let it drop and volley it home, but he bottled it. Says Harsh Sangera. Mark, you blocked me on the United stand, so I can't post comments on the live section. Why is that, Philip Hammond? I don't know, Philip. DM me at Mark Goldbridge with your YouTube, the link to your YouTube page, and I'll unblock you. And remember, if you get blocked on the United stand, it doesn't mean I've done it. We have got moderators. Paulinho is awful, says Fortune YouTube. He's done all right. He's done all right at Barcelona, to be fair. Aditya says, if Mourinho left, what would you think about Valverde as a replacement? I think Ander Herrera would be very happy. But Barcelona are starting to get a little bit of joy now, 16 minutes in, against Chelsea. Jason McDonough says, everyone, if you like this channel, subscribe to the United Stand. I've got a funny feeling that most people here will know about the United Stand already. Wayne J wants Arsenal to beat City on Sunday. We might do a watch along for that. A few people have asked us about it, but we may do. Besiktas have had a player sent off, says Nikhil. Thanks for the update, mate. Has Sander left or something, says Ricky Clarkson. No. You've got to share the load. Sander can't do it all. Sander does a good job. You know, did the Real Madrid one the other day. AJ now, Barca passed the ball so nicely. You know what? I've got to agree with you, AJ. It really is a joy to watch good football. Aidan Malcolm says, who is winning at the moment? Who is bossing the game? Well, Barcelona are having more of the ball. But we've got a Chelsea fan, Leon Han 8341 says Chelsea's the best. You're very welcome. If you are a supporter of any club, you're very welcome. But it's nice to have a few people who it matters for. If you're a Chelsea fan, best of luck. Besiktas atmosphere is madness, says Wesley, but it's in Bayern Munich. I tried to make Ewan look an idiot then, and I've done it myself. It's in Bayern Munich. Wasted. Hey, I am new, says Mikhail Buzinik. Hello, you're welcome. Is Talisca doing well in the Champions League with Besiktas, says Andrew K. If anyone's watching, let him know. Apparently Messi's never scored against Chelsea. Kieran White. Well, I'll change that question into a more generic one. He says, who would you rather play in the Champions League, Barca or Real Madrid, if it was your team? Well, if you're a Chelsea fan, tough luck, you're playing Barcelona. But if you're a fan of, I don't know, Liverpool, United or whoever, who would you rather play? For me, I would rather play Real Madrid. Because I think when Barcelona get going, they're very hard to stop in relation to keeping hold of the ball. Whereas with Real Madrid, they're not so much a possession team. You do get a little bit more of the ball with Real Madrid. But Barcelona, it grinds you down how they keep the ball. But Chelsea definitely parking the bus at home. Is fair to say. Champions League youth game tomorrow. Remind me of the kickoff. It's all dependent on work and stuff, you see. LD says he's a Madrid fan, and what would you think of Isca at Manchester United? He's a bit unhappy with the situation at Real. He's a very good player, Isco, but it depends what the future is for Manchester United. If we're going down the 4-3-3 route, then these creative players who are, you know, your sort of number 10s really, or your attacking midfielders, where do they fit in a 4-3-3? Because I think United, for the Premier League, they need 3 midfielders who are midfielders, and then you've got Lukaku up front, and I think you need people who are quick and have width. Decent cross coming in there from Barcelona, but Chelsea have cleared it, and Barcelona just keep coming and coming. Happy just to keep the ball. 2:45 kickoff, says Mark J, for the youth tomorrow. Manchester United youth team playing in the Youth Champions League Cup. It's on BT Sports 2, says Aaron Gorley. I might be able to just keep an eye on my phone. Chelsea, not at least. Jesus, Chelsea keep some possession, says Ian Mark. And should be studying for midterms, but the Champions League trumps all, says Louis Webber, sorry. I can't predict what the final is going to be, James Crossman, because I think there's so many permutations of, you know, I can't. As I say, the Champions League quarterfinals, I don't know how they keep people apart, whether they bother in the quarterfinals. Could Real Madrid get drawn against Barcelona? You know, you can't predict the final because you just don't know who's going to get picked against who. Chelsea have nothing. Barcelona will begin the long and slow rampage, says David. Ali Sahal says this is what Pep is trying to do. I mean, Barcelona versus Man City would be a great game to watch, I've got to say. You know, I don't like Man City because I'm a United fan, but I'm also a big football fan, and I would like to see Barcelona versus Man City just for the style of play. Yeah. That would be a fantastic quarter-final, semi-final. Could even be a final. Jake Mitchell says this feels like a slow roast of Chelsea. Yeah, the Barcelona goal just needs to go in. Oh, if he'd let that run. Oh, if Messi had known it was going to run, I think he would have had an easy pass into the bottom corner. But they're getting there. It's just that final ball. Ball into Iniesta on the box. Cross back, Suarez leaves it, and I think Messi thinks Suarez is going to take a touch, because if he has some conviction, that's going in the back of the net. We're nearly at 1,000 people watching, so please keep sharing it, get involved, make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. If you're new to the That's Football, you're very, very welcome. Really enjoying it actually, and we've got lots of these planned over there, certainly for the Champions League until the end of the season. We do the big games around Europe, so El Clasico, we'll do that. We'll do Munich, Dortmund as well, and the big games of the Premier League. And also the World Cup's coming up. We'll be covering the World Cup on here. So get yourself subscribed. If you're somebody who watches a lot of football away from the club that you support, get involved, because you know that's basically the idea behind the channel. Really, I don't just watch United, and everyone who's subscribed or gets involved with the United stand will know we've got a great community there, but I do watch a lot of other football, and that was the idea behind this. Fajan Chowdhury says City will get the easiest team in the next round in the Champions League. The trouble is, the easiest team in the next round, they're going to get less and less easy. I mean, I could sort of say that, well, if United lose to Sevilla, then they'd be one of the easier teams compared to Bayern Munich and that, but Roma could be one of the easier perceived teams in the next round. Just for anybody who's interested, Aston Villa are playing tonight. Antoine Seaby is playing. He was a revelation at the weekend, and he is playing from the start again tonight for Villa at home to Preston. Currently 0-0. And Roma play Shakhtar Donetsk. So that is potentially one of the easier ties or oppositions to get in the quarterfinals that maybe Manchester City will get. Still 0-0 in Bayern Munich versus Besiktas, but Vida for Besiktas has been sent off. Bayern are the home team in that game. And we're over 1,000 people watching, which is great. Well done to you. Barcelona still passing it around the edge of the box. Full Linus says, I'm a QPR fan. Do you think QPR has any chances of getting into the Champions League? It's funny you say that about QPR. I'll tell you what, I'm not even going to display any ignorance in this. I will go and check for myself. Where you are in the Championship. QPR mid-table. So you're not, doesn't look like you're going to get promoted anytime soon. The thing about QPR, I was talking about this the other day, is that I still think you've got quite a lot of money. But you might be restricted by financial fair play. Have you still got the rich owners? If you have, then you never know. United versus Roma would be lovely in the next round, but it would show United's decline over the last decade, says Ricky Clarkson. Oh, remember that 7-1 game at Old Trafford? Carrick in the top corner. It was a cracking game, that was. Louis Webber says, it's been a long time since I've watched Iniesta, but it's great to see he is still class. James Crossman says he'd love to watch Liverpool-Barcelona. I think Liverpool would get annihilated defensively. Chris Windle says France have got some good talent. They must be the favourites for the World Cup. Yeah, they have got good players, but I don't think they'll... I don't know about France. Financial fair play, does that even exist? It does in the Championship. They're quite strict. Jack Brady says Messi is amazing. Barcelona with over 80% possession, says Andrew Kay. It's been a long time since I've seen Chelsea touch the ball. They're touching it now, Fabregas. Nice little dink into Hazard. I mean, can you imagine what's going to happen at the Nou Camp? It's a foregone conclusion, I think, this game. Unless something really weird happens, like a red card to Barcelona. But even then, I still think they'd keep a lot of the ball. Of course, from a Manchester United perspective, it's quite good because Chelsea are going to have to do a lot of running. But this is a good break by Willian. Very good break. If he can switch it, he's got a look. Oh, I tell you what, you've got to book him there. Because if Willian is not fouled there, he puts Alonso in and he's got a shot. Very cynical. The days of Pep. The days of Pep. This is Barcelona, all right. They're not opposed to taking a foul for the team to stop a goal before the goal chance happens. And Rakitic gets the yellow card. And it is a yellow card. Deschamps is a clown. France won't win the World Cup, says Tommy Herald. That's what I was trying to say in a more professional way. So free kick here for Chelsea. Willian and Alonso over it. Who am I supporting in this match, Nadeem? Barcelona. I want Barcelona to pass Chelsea to exhaustion because they're playing Manchester United on Sunday. But as in anything, you know, we saw Wigan beat Man City last night. Chelsea can certainly get a result here, and if they could score, like from an opportunity like this, and defend something, free kick. He made it over the wall, but it's easily staved by ter Stegen. And Regal says Alonso to score. I'm calling it. Well, I bet you wish he hadn't typed that now because he didn't. And Matthew McFadden's all over you. Oh, Matthew, I didn't realise that you weren't a mod on here. Let me give you that. It's interesting actually. It's a shame we haven't got more Chelsea fans, because if Chelsea do get beat by United on Sunday, some people think he'll get the sack. I don't think he will. I still think he'll survive, but it'd just be great for Mourinho to beat him. Conan Kennedy wants Chelsea to get smashed. Chad Sproul says Barcelona players diving and making cynical fouls. No shock there. Yeah, I was going to say that. I mean, they make cynical fouls, but they also it's basically what Pep does at Man City, because that's where he, obviously he learns all this at Barcelona. But at the moment they're not in a competitive game here. They're just in a possession game at the moment, so they're not throwing themselves around. Yeah, it's because they're just totally in control. The Darkness hates Barcelona and says, come on, Chelsea. Richard O'Sullivan says Chelsea are playing well and Conte set them up well. From a defensive point of view, maybe. Chad says it will cost Chelsea 37 million if they have to sack Kante before the end of the season. But Daniel and Jay Hart both say Conte will get the sack if United beat them. Half an hour gone in this game, and Chelsea are just trying to break very quickly on the break when they get it, but not able to now. James Crossman, who do I think will win the Europa League? I think it's going to be very, very tough in the Europa League, because I don't think Arsenal can win it. If I'm totally honest, I don't think they can win it. It's a very competitive one, and let's not forget Manchester United won it last year and it wasn't easy, but it wasn't anywhere near as competitive as this. You've got Lazio in there. They're a good side. Although they are 1-0 down from the first leg. Just looking at Hazard here on the edge of the box. But let's see what happens with this first. Willian's had a good game and he's created a bit of space. Ooh, he's at the post. He got the keeper beat all ends up there. Willian has played very, very well. Cuts inside very centrally. Busquets can't catch him. Gets the shot away. Unstoppable. Deserved a goal really from Willian. Lovely curl on it. Keeper's not getting anywhere near it. Smacks the post face on and bounces back into play. Lovely little bit of skill from Willian. Best chance of the game. Well, not best chance of the game, but certainly the closest to a goal in the game so far. Interestingly enough, just while Chelsea have got the ball here, they're around the middle of the table. So, who's going to win the Europa League? I think Arsenal fans think they've got a good chance. I don't think Arsenal have got any chance, because I don't think Arsenal are a very good team this season, and I think that to win the Europa League, just looking at some of the fixtures, Atletico Madrid definitely going to be in the next round. They're 4-1 up. Lazio should get through. Napoli, interestingly, will go out, but they had a very tough tie against RP Leipzig, who are 3-1 up and have the home tie. Who else is in there? Lyon, Celtic, obviously Arsenal, Borussia Dortmund, although they could go out. They beat Atalanta 3-2 and they're away in the next game. Atletico Bilbao, good side. Real Sociedad, AC Milan, Marseille. So some good teams in there. I would say Atletico Madrid are probably favourites, to be honest. In my humble opinion. 0-0 in both games at the moment. 0-0 in the Chelsea game. 0-0 in the Bayern Munich Besiktas game. And Rakitic there flying into another tackle, but he did get the ball just. Mark, what do you think is contributing to the lift in the class of football English clubs are playing? It's just Toma free. I think it's the circle, really. I think we've had a bad few years, and then suddenly it's coming back. I mean, there's not masses of difference in the teams and the quality of the teams that we have. I'd like to see Spurs play Barcelona as well. I think Spurs are a very, very good side. I think Man City can do well in this, and I think United and Liverpool I don't know. One of those could be a surprise, but I think Spurs and City are set to have a good Champions League campaign. I'm not convinced either can win it, but I think they're very, they're well equipped. Liverpool, I think midfield and defence isn't good enough. United, just think the style of play is too negative, but hopefully that will get proved wrong. Good period for Chelsea, says Joey. He's right. Chelsea are having a good 5 minutes here after that shot hitting the bar. They've suddenly come out a little bit and they're starting to play some decent stuff. But Messi in there. Ian Turlington says the money that the Premier League is generating is helping. Yeah, probably good. I think Arsenal would beat Celtic, Callum. Although I'd love them not to. Patrick McCallie says, are you coming over to Malahide for a few pints? I'd love to. To be honest with you, the Champions League, if I'm honest with you, the Champions League always reminds me of my days in Ireland. Amstel. And if we have any Irish people, remember after the Champions League games, they used to have those 3 Irish lads comedy at the end. Not Eamon Dunphy and Johnny Giles and that. After the show, they'd have like 3 lads in a pub having a bit of a laugh. But yeah, Champions League always makes me think of Gibney's and Malahide and Amstel beer and all that. It was prime years. That's when we won it in '99. Right, Barcelona with Paulinho. And they're having a little bit of the ball themselves now. Oh, good running here by Alba. And good tracking back by Moses. Strong and fast. Chris Windle says Flex has got a great job living it up in Spain. He has. To be honest though, I should have. My biggest regret this season so far was that I was meant to go to Munich with them and I couldn't because of work. And pissed me right off, to be honest. Sorry the language, but it did. 60th anniversary, and I was just gutted. Would you take Edison Cavani in your team, says Hassan? No, I don't like Cavani. I've never been a fan of Cavani. Corner for Barcelona. Oh, I think Piqué there. I think that's a penalty. He doesn't head it till he's coming down, and it looks like a good opportunity, and the Chelsea player's falling down. Rudiger pulls him, and I think that should be a penalty for me. I'm not from Ireland. No, I lived in Ireland for 3 years. Funny thing about Amstel beer, for anybody who doesn't know what it is, it used to I don't know anymore, but it used to sponsor the Champions League around that time when I lived in Ireland. But in Ireland, I did work, but a lot of my mates, because of my age, were students, and we'd go down to get the beer for the football or the weekend, and they would buy. Because I worked, I would buy Budweiser because I could afford it, and they would buy Dutch Gold and Amstel because it was the cheapest beer. And because it's the cheapest beer, you used to think it was horrible. Most pubs I drink in now around Birmingham, Amstel's like what people are drinking on draft, and it's really nice. It's funny how some beers in some countries are considered to be the cheap crap, and then in other countries it's premium. Willian is a boss, says Lucas Taylor. I do like Willian. Jack Brady, can Manchester United win the next derby? I nearly said it won't matter because we're not playing for the league, but having said that, United probably will need the points in their battle for top 4. Jack, I do like Formula 1. I don't get to watch it as much. I like playing Formula 1 on the PS4. I've whiled many an hour away just screaming around in a Formula 1 car on that. I love it. Love racing games. Conan, I do like Budweiser. Many people would say it's muck. I tell you what I'm going to say though. I'm not a snob. My background is not, I'm from like a working class background, and it's so I don't care that what people think or say about things, and I'm not snobby about it at all. Oh, Willian, he's hit the other post, has he? Has he just hit the post again? He's hit the other post. My goodness. Either a great save or he hits the post. Edge of the box. Falls to him again, gets it out of his feet and cracks the post. Willian, post twice. You've got to say Chelsea deserves to have a goal. Willian has been absolutely superb. Superb. And Conte doesn't even play him that much. He's been very good in this game, Conte. Very, very good. Uh, 1-0 to Bayern. Thanks, Mark Willis. Thanks for the update. Clarence Song, who is a Chelsea fan. Not again. Yeah. The thing is, for us neutrals, we're saying always hit the post, close. But if you're a Chelsea fan, you know that in games like this, those chances need to be going in the back of the net. Do I think Aguero should get banned, says Jack Brady. Let's just watch this free kick. Fabregas can deliver a good cross. PK gets up on it. Hazard, I think he's got to do better there. Drops to him on the full volley, on the edge of the box, over the bar. Chelsea will feel they should be 1-0 up in this game. Not loads of possession, but they've certainly... I think Hazard's got to do better here. A lot of people saying Hazard close. Drops to him on the volley. No, he's not under any pressure. He's got to do better there. He's got to get it on target. Definitely. What were we on about? I think City will win the League Cup, to be honest. I don't think Arsenal are very good. Do I think Aguero should get banned from Jack Brady? Okay, yes, I do. I've seen a lot of press today saying, wow, the reason he did it is because the fans spat at him or he said something back to him that was not very nice. And the press just seem to want to defend him. And of course, it's totally unacceptable for a fan to go on a pitch and spit at a player. They should be protected. I agree with that. But the reality is, I'm old enough to remember Cantona against Crystal Palace. And that fan ran down from halfway up the stadium all the way down to the front to have a go at Cantona and his wife and kids. And Cantona kicked him. And Cantona got a massive ban and Cantona was slaughtered. Evra the other week, or the other month, racist comments, kicked a fan. You know, they may be justifiable why those people get a slap. But if you do it as a footballer, you're in a position of responsibility and you're paid a lot of money to play football, agreed, but the precedent has already been set with Everett and Cantona, so he must be dealt with. It can't be let go just because of the mitigating circumstances. He has to be dealt with, and that's the bottom line. Would it be fair enough to say Chelsea should be 2 or 3-0 up, says Lucas Taylor? I don't think they deserve that on the balance of play, but they should certainly be leading this game based on the chances they've had. And Barcelona... little bit lucky. Little bit lucky. They're finding it very difficult to carve Chelsea apart. And Chelsea will take great confidence from that. Smacking the post twice. Defensively quite sound. They'll be feeling quite good. And to be honest, what is Barcelona's answer going to be in the second half? Because they need one. Who do you think City will buy when Aguero and Silva retires? And can I be a mod, says Philip Hammond. Do you think... I don't know, I've got no idea who City will buy. Anybody they want, I suppose. Messi, into the box, cross, cleared. Kieran Byrne, anything from Mourinho's presser? Good point, you know, I totally missed that. Good one. It's half time anyway. I don't think there's anything from his press conference, to be honest, that's worthy. Pogba's there. No, nothing of note. Nothing of note. So 1-1, 0-0. Sorry, 0-0 in this game. Chelsea hitting the post twice through Willian. Hazard dropped down to him, volleyed it over the bar. I think he should have done better. Barcelona, lots of possession, but no real final product, to be totally honest with you. And fair to say, I think that Chelsea should be in winning this game. Not comfortably in control of the game, I'd say Barcelona have. But Barcelona struggling to break that Chelsea down. Quite an interesting thing from a Manchester United point of view. If you're looking forward to that game on Sunday, Chelsea well organised defensively and fast on the break. That sort of DNA might work very, very well at Old Trafford, to be honest. Drogba would have scored too, says Joey. Yeah, we're big fans of Drogba tonight, aren't we? We need someone on the right wing who can whip in a ball. What's the point of signing Sanchez when we have excellent left winger Martial, says Philip Hammond. Chelsea must win, says Elliot Danger. I tell you what, let's do a bit of a half-time shout-out then. Please do subscribe to That's Football, bottom right-hand corner. We're very close to 22,500 subscribers, so let's see if we can get there while we're on half-time. Please share the video. Subscribe if you're new, the bottom right hand corner hologram, get your bell on and get involved with That's Football. If you like football, get involved with That's Football, because we're going to be watching a lot of games on here, and it's always good laugh, always a bit of banter. And if you are just somebody who likes football and it doesn't matter that much to you who's playing, i.e. you're not a Chelsea or Barcelona fan, it's always a bit good. We need a quality British right winger, says Matthew McFadden. Shout out for Bolton, says Spikes. Bolton. I used to work with a lad from Bolton, Batesy. We used to take piss out of Batesy all the time because of the way he spoke. We used to go into work in the morning and he'd go home, you won't believe it, go home. Man United should have signed Willian. Well, I think they tried to, Shriti Sharma, but just because I think United were quite open about the fact that they wanted Willian, but it's hard, isn't it? Blizzard Crushing, it's 2 AM in the morning there. So thanks for joining us. Please do let us know where you're watching from, by the way, and the time, because it's 24 minutes to midnight in Kenya for Jurgen Clint. But you know what? I've got to be totally honest with you for a minute or two. Let's talk about Champions League, bigger picture for a moment. Barcelona, Bayern Munich are 1-0 up against 10 men. Besiktas, Thomas Müller has scored that goal. And let's just do Championship roundup as well. Interestingly, Aston Villa losing 0-1 to Preston. Axel Twansibi is playing for them. Forest are losing 1-0. Goldbridge won't be happy. This is the Goldbridge that supports Forest, who is mythical. And I liked that myself. Very excited about United Sevilla tomorrow. I think whether you're a United fan like a lot of us are or you're not, it's going to be a very, very good game to watch. There's this myth that Sevilla are a bad side. They are 5th in La Liga. They've not been beaten. I think they've lost once in 35 games at home. They've got a good midfield with Banega and Enzonzi. Their attack is quite mobile and good. Defensively, they're not good. Effectively, United need to attack. Will they attack? It's 3:35 in Florida, says Riley Bird. It's 4:34 in Barbados, says Jay Day. 2:05 in the morning in India, says Rutan. As does Kashiti Lawrence. Kashitij, sorry. And Nikhil, they're in India as well. Jamaica, 3:35. Karan's in India as well. It's 8:25 in Ireland, Danny Collins. For some reason, you're 11 minutes behind us in Ireland then. That's a bit weird. Some would say you're 20 years behind. But I would say that's nonsense because I lived in Ireland and I loved it. Bangladesh, 2:35 AM. Maldives, 1:35 AM. God, some of you stay up late, don't you? I mean, even I'm not up until that time. I'm trying to figure it out though. I mean, this is something for the United Stand, and probably, well, no, hopefully it will become relevant on That's Football as well. We started doing a couple of 1 o'clock UK time shows because we obviously have a lot of global viewers, and it's very easy to fall into that trap of, oh, let's just do 8 o'clock every night like we do on the United Stand, but it may not be that accommodating for our global fans. So it is something we're becoming more and more aware of. Jason McDonough says, thanks for these channels, you make my day. To be fair, That's Football's a channel I've wanted to do for a long time. It's just time is the issue. Mark J says, don't slag the Irish, Mark, we'll come after you. I know you will. I lived there for 3 years. I like it. I'd love to go back. I am going to go back, but I want to go back and live there. I loved it. 12 noon in California, says Brendan Tombow, and Riak Gabriel says he lives 5 minutes away from Anthony Martial, which is great. Snap says, how can anyone sleep when there's a watch-along on? Chris Windle, the 8 PM show is the 3 PM show for me, says Chris Windle. Just looking at Willian's shots back there. But yeah, That's Football channel effectively is something I've wanted to do for a long time because I watch a lot of football. And I enjoy doing the United Stand, obviously, but you know, I watch a lot of football. I'm interested in a lot of football, and I just thought, you know what, it's a good idea just to, you know, have another community where everybody is watching football. And I think we have a bit more of banter on here because obviously, and I would never do a United show on here because that's the United Stand, and the teams I'm watching I don't necessarily support. So there's a bit more freedom, relaxation involved, so it's good. So make sure you subscribe and get involved. We're close to 22,500 subscribers, and it'd be great to hit that tonight. So if you are new, subscribe, and if you're not new, please click that share button under the video and share it on your Twitter, your Facebook, and let's start growing another community. I never really liked Gaelic, Danny. No, I think I preferred Gaelic to hurling. I tell you what, I have been reading a lot about at the moment. Totally off topic. Because one of the things I found fascinating living in Dublin was the underworld. You know, the underworld there. And there's some really serious stuff going on there at the moment, and has been for the last few months, hasn't there, with those two rival gangs. Loads and loads of shooting. It's like the Wild West. Proper gangster stuff going on there. Kieran Byrne, you want to be English, Kieran, says Mark J. Titty is the perfect partner for Eric Bay, so calm on the ball and left-footed. Thoughts, Mark, says Jonathan Gorbett. I like Titty. I can't say it without smiling. I do like Titty, but I think he's got a 55 million release clause, and they're trying to get him to sign a new contract because he's a good player. But the interesting thing is, we'll develop. I mean, this is why I like half time, because you can go off on tangents a little bit. These release clauses are very interesting because it's a bit like Icardi's. He's got a release clause of, I think it's something like 90 million euro, which is really interesting because that is nothing in the last 18 months, really. Even Pogba's 89 million looked massive, but it doesn't now. So Icardi, I think in July, can go for 90 million euros. I don't know whether it's for just July or not, but there are a lot of players around Europe, especially because we don't have release clauses in the UK, which have these release clauses that at the time they thought, oh, that's massively excessive. I'm sure the Titty one, they were like, no one's ever going to get near that, and Inter with Icardi would have been like, no one's going to go anywhere near 90 million euros, and they do. They suddenly look quite cheap. And there's a lot of players like that at the moment. Belotti at Torino, he's not had a great season actually, but I think his is around 90 million euro as well. And the interesting thing, Griezmann's is as well. And the clubs who put these release clauses on that are quite I've always found them quite restrictive and not obstructive and restrictive, because they're normally massive amounts of money that no one's ever going to pay. Suddenly the tables have turned quite quickly. Will we ever do a championship watch along, says Spikes. I think if there was a game big enough for us to do it, we'd do it. Bayern are 1-0 up. How is Icardi doing in Italy, Mark, says AJ now. Very, very good. Very good. I think he's got something like 18 goals. He's doing really well this season. I'd like to do a Serie A watch along. We haven't done one on here yet. I think the only European games we've done in La Liga. But I would like to do a Serie A one. Really, really would. We just missed them, which was a bit of a shame. But let me have a quick look. Might just be able to have a quick look and see if there's any big games. Roma AC Milan on Sunday night. The trouble is they play on a Sunday and that clashes with the Sunday night show. I knew there was something about it, and we could do with them playing on a Saturday. Napoli Roma on the 3rd of March. AC Milan Inter Milan on Sunday the 4th of March, which it just clashes directly with the United stand. I knew there was a reason why we've not done them. I nearly swore again. It annoys me because I have to watch them on record, because I'm not going to not do a Sunday night show on the United stand to do the Milan derby. I'm not going to not do that. It's our biggest, it's our most iconic show, the Sunday night. There's very little I would sacrifice that for. Normally it's Christmas or Easter. I can't not do that. Aman Nadim, welcome. Kieran Burns on about that gangland thing in Dublin. I don't want to get involved in it too much. I don't want to get dragged in. No, but in all seriousness, no, it is very serious. It's very serious. Some of my mates from Ireland mention it to me, and every now and again, every couple of weeks, I'll just Google it, and there's just so much going on. They'll definitely write a book about it, and it'll be a very interesting book. James Rodriguez looks fantastic for Bayern, Tommy Harold. I'm really looking forward to watching Bayern. I don't think we'll do a Bayern watch along until the quarterfinals, because obviously we'll do Barcelona Chelsea the next round. And it's just the way the cookie crumbles, isn't it? In the Champions League group stage, we did focus on the Real Madrid, Spurs and Dortmund group because it was the best one. But I'm sure we'll do Bayern in the quarterfinals, hopefully. Depends whether they clash though, doesn't it? Chris Windle, there's no United stand tonight. No, I did it at 1 o'clock. I did it at 1 o'clock. I did the preview then. So go and give it a watch. Keep subscribing, everyone. We're getting very close to 22,500, which would be great to hit tonight. Best community, the United stand, says Aman. It is. Wand of a left foot. Crizia Prince, that is Rodriguez. Mark, do you think Darmian has an outside chance of starting against Sevilla? He played against Real earlier in the Super Cup, says Samatar. I hope not. He's been terrible. Just on the United very quickly, Darmian has been terrible. Really, really bad. Last 2 games I've seen him was Yeovil and Bristol City, and he got done by wingers from a League 2 side that's near the bottom of the league and a Championship winger. Mark, do you think Jose's style of play will be a success in the coming years, says Karen? Only if he changes it. If he doesn't change it, he will go the same way as Van Gaal. Bayern versus City Watchalong, says Carlos Rosa. Does he know something we don't know? I can't wait for the quarterfinals. Mark, do you like Sheffield Wednesday? They're 1-0 up tonight at Millwall away. Jack, all I would say about Sheffield Wednesday is this. If I'm choosing between Sheffield United and Sheffield Wednesday, I choose Sheffield Wednesday, which is hard because I'm a massive Sean Bean fan, Borremore. And if you're not a Lord of the Rings fan, you won't know what I'm on about. And also, I did really like Sheffield Wednesday. I didn't support them. God, don't want any of that nonsense again. But as I said, throughout my life, I watch a lot of football. I used to play a lot of Subbuteo growing up, and I had lots of teams, and I had my own little league that I used to play with myself. It sounds a bit sad, but I was obsessive, and my nose is itching me a lot at the moment. I've always been obsessive about football. Even if I'm in the living room with a little ball, I'll imagine a chair is a goal, and I'll have a little match, United against somebody, and I'll be shooting and stuff like that. I've always been like it, so I'm very obsessive about football. And Sheffield Wednesday in the early 90s had a good team. I'm talking to a lot of you who weren't even born, so you're going to be like, what the hell are you on about now? But they had a centre-back, and I think it was David Hirst and Mark Bright got injured, so they had to put a centre-back up front called Paul Warhurst, and he couldn't stop scoring, and he ended up like playing for England. And Paul Warhurst, yeah, brilliant on Championship Manager as well. But yeah, they had a good team in the early 90s. Chris Waddle was there, Mark Bright, David Hirst, John Sheridan, Carlton Palmer. Was Chris Woods in goal? They got to 2 finals, FA Cup final and the League Cup final when it mattered more. Lost them both to Arsenal. But they were a good team. Trevor Francis was managing them. So I like Sheffield Wednesday, yeah. Is the long answer. This game's about to kick off. This channel's brilliant. I love it. Can't really talk about this sort of stuff on United Stand because it's all United related. And United related, you could talk for days about United. But general football stuff, love it. We've had the chat about Drogba, which I absolutely loved, and a few of you got involved in that. And now we spoke about Sheffield Wednesday and Ireland. It's great. I love it. Busquets or Carrick, says an answer. Very good question. Most people would quite rightly say Busquets, but I just love Michael Carrick, so it'd be Carrick. Ryan McSquiggins with me. Second half has kicked off. Time has kicked off. Byron Plays wants to know who's on top at the moment, Chelsea or Barcelona. I think it's a very difficult question to answer because Barcelona have had more possession, but Chelsea should have scored at least one. They've hit the post twice. Barcelona probably, I think we're getting a bit, I think Chelsea hit them a little bit in the last 15 minutes of the half because I think Barcelona got a little bit above themselves. Oh, it's a matter of time before we break them down. We're totally in control. And then in fairness to Conte, the way he set Chelsea up, they had a couple of good forays forward and they nearly got a goal. So Barcelona probably need a bit of a kick up the backside. What I would say, which is quite ominous for Chelsea fans, is watched El Clasico, didn't we? We did El Clasico on here just before Christmas, and Real Madrid dominated Barcelona in the first half, but it was 0-0. Second half, Barcelona went up a gear and won 3-0. Ricky Clarkson, bit off topic. Do you see Carrick as a United legend? I'd have to have a proper discussion about it, but not far off. Certainly not far off. I think if you consider Everett a legend, then Carrick definitely is. I suppose it's a bit like world class. How high is the bar that you have? I have a very high bar for world class, so I don't. Some people say they're world class, and I disagree. I have quite a high bar for legends at Manchester United as well because it should be very high. I'm not convinced people like Everett are legends, but if they are, then Carrick certainly is. Matthew's not happy. He ordered a telly tonight and the bloody thing got cancelled. Matthew, you want to see my setup? I've had to carry the telly from the spare room downstairs. It's quite a big one because on when did United play? Saturday evening we played against Huddersfield in the Cup, didn't we? And I have a normal little telly that I normally set up in here, and I hit it on the ever so slightly hit it on the corner of the dining room table, turned it on, and half the screen was all messed up because it broke. I've only had it about 3 months. Stelios says Everett, Carrick, not United legends, they're greats. There's a higher... Yes, I like that one, yeah. There's a higher threshold for legend. He's a United great. I like that. I do like Carrick though, brilliant player. And I think if Carrick was like 30 now in our midfield, he'd be brilliant. Drop Matic. Jose's room service, Schmeichel or Oliver Kahn? Schmeichel. Schmeichel was better than Oliver Kahn. Overlap here for Barcelona. And Iniesta decided to go for a worldie, but he did have Alba on the overlap. We will do World Cup watch-alongs, Aldi. We will do. Sir Drag says Vera isn't a legend, but Carrick is. I think he means Evra, not Vera. George Kyle says he's intercepted Matthew's TV and he's watching it now. Lovely. T-Dog Man's a big fan of Rakitic. Yeah, he's been mentioned with United quite a lot. It's a sad state of affairs, but the first thing I look at with United midfielders that we get linked to is their height, because Mourinho's so obsessed with it. If they're under 6 foot, there's a chance we probably wouldn't sign them. Rakitic's got to be careful in this game though, because he's on a yellow card. He looks quite tall, Rakitic, though, so he'd probably have a chance. Who do I think is going to win the World Cup, Ethan? I've gone with Brazil. I think it's going to be an interesting World Cup. I think it's going to be an irritating World Cup as well, though, because it's a bigger World Cup. And Chelsea looking for a penalty there would have been very soft. It's a bigger World Cup, which means the group stage won't be as interesting. And also, there's some big teams not in it. I hate that. You know when I create my own World Cup on FIFA. It really annoys me when the best teams aren't there, and you've got Chile aren't there, Italy aren't there, Holland aren't there. That's 3 pretty big teams not in a World Cup that is big. They've enhanced it with the number of teams in it. So, but a lot of people think France, as Joe Wan says, a lot of people think France will win it. Said Jamie, Messi is a joy to watch. Yeah, he is quite ineffective tonight though so far. Germany are a good shout, Prince R9 and Blizzard Crushing. I think Germany, in a World Cup like this, I think efficiency is very important, and Germany could be very good. Well, they will be very good. They've got a great conveyor belt of players, haven't they? Dylan Hogan, Paulinho looks meh. Yeah, it'd be nice to see Dembele come on. I would like to see Dembele. Really, really liked him at Dortmund. Yeah, somebody just said there, I mean, it's a bit unfortunate tonight, isn't it? This is what you tend to get with Barcelona. I mean, I think in the latter stages we won't see it as much. If Barcelona are playing Bayern Munich or Real Madrid, hopefully Man City, teams won't park the bus like Chelsea have, and that approach to a game is quite, you know, as a spectacle, it makes it harder, and that's why it's 0-0. As we saw with PSG, Real Madrid, it was just a very good game of football. And again, with Spurs and Juventus, a very good game of football. I hope this isn't a sign of things to come with United and Sevilla tomorrow, with United sitting back, because it can make for quite an irritating watch at times. But, you know, Conte won't care. He's got a game plan. And it wouldn't be the first time Barcelona were beaten by a team that parks the bus. So, I think it needed a goal though. Preferably a Barcelona goal, because Chelsea would just sit back even more if they got a goal. Morata looks like he's warming up he is warming up. It doesn't look like it at all. Jack says, if you're offered a free game to a big game that wasn't a United game like tonight's game, would you turn the tickets down? If I could pick my big game, I'd love to go and watch well, let's say if it was in England, because obviously you've got to pay for... Oh, hold on. Suarez. Oh, he got away. He got that shot away well there with 3 players around him. Courtois makes a save. I wouldn't be interested in watching... Well, no. I would. I love football, so I would go and watch... I don't know whether I'd go and watch this, Chelsea-Barcelona. I think it was quite predictable that Chelsea were going to do this. I'd go and watch Man City Barcelona because I just think it'd be a very good football game. I'd go and watch Liverpool Real Madrid because I'd love to see Real Madrid batter Liverpool at Anfield. Yeah, why not? Why not? What are you offering? George Kyle says Spain will win the World Cup. I think Spain have gone off the boil a little bit recently. I wouldn't have them as favourites. And also, no, I wouldn't have Spain as favourites. I mean, I don't think they'll win it either. Ramez says if Conte gets a draw here, even if he loses at United, he won't win. He won't get the sack. I don't think he will anyway. Titi, he has got a nice left foot. Oh, Willian trying to break it there. Busquets did well. Blizzard Crushing feels that Conte has copied his style, copied what Mourinho did to Barcelona in the past with teams like Inter Milan. Yeah, I think he may have copied it, but I think he's also evolved it a bit as well. I mean, to not play Morata and play 3 smaller, quicker players to hit them on the break is something I haven't seen many teams do in a park in the bus sense, but it's good. Lucas Taylor also says Conte is trying to channel his inner Jose with his tactics tonight. Bayern Munich have gone 2-0 up at home to Besiktas, so you'd feel that game is probably over because Besiktas have got 10 men and they need an away goal. Kingsley Coman scored. They've got a great bench. Both Robben and Ribery on the bench. Well, thank you, Alsama Hassan. That Aldi says that's Football Channel and Mark bashes Liverpool. Look, it's a channel for everybody, but do you want me to be a hypocrite? I don't like Liverpool. I've never liked Liverpool, but it doesn't mean I wouldn't be respectful of Liverpool. And what I will say about Liverpool now is, and I think I think these words probably mean more than somebody who's quite accepting of Liverpool, because I hate Liverpool and I have done for years. So when I say what I'm about to say, it actually means something. Salah is a bloody revelation, isn't he? And Firmino's done very well up front. They've got a very good attacking 3, and Klopp's style of football is good when it works, but he hasn't got a plan B. But Salah, it doesn't even pain me to say it. Sometimes things are abundantly clear, and he's a very, very good player, and he works very, very hard for Liverpool, and he's done very, very well. I would probably give him Player of the Year over Kevin De Bruyne, which is again quite controversial, but I just think because of the team that he's playing in, I mean, De Bruyne is just surrounded by rich, best of the best players. Salah plays with Jordan Henderson, big difference. Louis Christon says Messi couldn't do it in the Premier League. I'd love to have seen Messi in the Premier League. I think that's the big divider for me. Ronaldo did it in the Premier League, and boy did he do it. He dominated it for the time he was at United. He was absolutely fantastic. But Messi, I don't know. I mean, there's that, I don't want to pick on Messi because he is obviously with Ronaldo one of the best players, well, 2 of the best players in the universe. They are the 2 best players in the universe. But like international football with Messi, whenever he's in England, he just doesn't look close to the La Liga Messi. And maybe it's just the football. I mean, we'll see it tomorrow with United against Sevilla. We will see that this Sevilla team isn't as bad as everybody thinks, and they'll probably move the ball around far better than United do, because that in Spain you get more space and more ability, more time to move the ball, and I think that suits Messi. Whereas in the Premier League it's more physical, tighter and quicker. And, you know, he still looks like a very good player, but he isn't as effective. Zed Jamie says Salah is a one-season wonder. Connell Johnson just said that's not true, Mark, but doesn't tell me what I'm talking about because I might have moved on. Jack says there's no more teams in this season's World Cup than there is in the last one. Maybe I've got that wrong then. It's going to take a piece of brilliance or a mistake for a goal tonight. Maybe a penalty to either side, says Adam Peck. Deadpool Universe, how many years are Manchester United off becoming what they were again? I don't know. I couldn't put an answer on that at the moment. It's very hard to say because I think a lot depends on whether Mourinho changes the style of play or not. We're 19 subscribers short of 22,500, so please do subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, all you've got to do is click the hologram in the bottom right hand corner, subscribe, click the bell as well so you get all notifications. I am going to start doing more sort of match. If I do a watch along, I'm going to do a match reaction because it just seems silly not to do one. But we are going to try and do. Well, we are going to do a lot more on this channel anyway. Chelsea trying to get a bit of a quick break on here. Fabregas finding Hazard, and needs to turn and get at him now before Barcelona get men back. He switched the play nicely here, and he has found Willian, but he'll have two players on him straight away. And Barcelona have got themselves sorted again now. Macho Man Rick Savaging is subscribed. Thanks, pal. We're only 10 short now. Chelsea camped on the edge of the box here. Fabregas shoots low and wide. A few people are mentioning Zlatan being back for United. I'm a big fan of Zlatan. I don't know whether Zlatan's what United need at the moment. You know, when you're looking for quick passing, yes, quick movement, he's not that. And Lukaku's playing well at the moment, so where does Zlatan fit in? He scored! Willian has scored. 1-0 to Chelsea. Well deserved. He got a little bit of space again, and this time he went low. Bottom corner, 1-0. Willian gets the goal he deserves. Conte will be very happy. Barcelona won't. Edge of the box. He's very good at getting a yard to get a shot of the way. Very, very fast at it. And he's edge of the box there from a corner. It's rolled out to him from Hazard right on the edge of the box. Unmarked, stupidly. And the finish is lovely. He curls it around everybody into the bottom corner. He's on the edge of the box when he shoots it. Lovely, unstoppable. Keeper's got no chance, but it's Busquets. A little bit slow, and it was Busquets in the first half. A little bit of a shoulder, gets the shot away. Busquets can't react quick enough. Willian's quick feet can. Bottom corner curler, lovely and low. 1-0. Chad's very happy. Ian Mark's very happy. Always think clearly, says all 5 English teams are going through. What a bend, says Macho Man. Not good enough from Barcelona. Lots and lots of the ball, but not good enough. And Conte's out like a jack in a box on Red Bull, and he's very happy. But Willian, in all fairness, deserves a goal. He's hit the post. He's hit the post twice, to be fair to the lad, and certainly deserved a goal. So 1-0. 1-0 to Chelsea. Interesting. They'll sit back even more now. If they could get 1-0 here, they'll fancy that away from home. Important thing for Chelsea now is clean sheet. Do not give a goal away to Barcelona and that the away goal. Biosphere's a bit worried. Well, This is why I keep saying Man City have got a chance in the Champions League, because I think people are thinking that Barcelona, Real Madrid are better than they are. I mean, this Barcelona side has run away with La Liga. And if Chelsea can beat them, you know, Chelsea are not having a great season in the Premier League. I think Man City look a very good bet for the Champions League. Lemmy Asayad makes a very good point. Chelsea can just sit back and hit on the counter now. But Willian single-handedly has got them this game. He deserves a hat-trick, says Afaf. He's been very good. Brandon Johnson says, I saw this coming. Why did the Barcelona manager not? Jack says that the BBC have said there'll be no punishment for Aguero after last night. So it's disgusting, isn't it? Absolutely disgusting. But can't say I'm not surprised by it at all. But, you know, how can you do that? Okay, where were we? So what we're going to get for the next half an hour or so is Barcelona just trying to get through this Chelsea wall. And I think for Chelsea it's very important that they don't. I mean, brilliant if Chelsea can get a second goal, but I think even more important than the second goal, 1-0 is better than 2-1 in this situation, because that away goal is massive. So Chelsea, realistically, that second goal would be nice, but more important is the clean sheet. And can Barcelona break them down? They've not, you know, for 65 minutes, they haven't. And they haven't really looked like, you know, Barcelona have looked good in possession around that middle of the pitch. But once they get close to Chelsea's box, there's no intricacy or anything really. They've a couple of half chances, but nothing defence splitting at all. And the one thing about Barcelona that they've never done is they don't like to just chuck it into the mixer. It's all about finding a way through. And at the moment, Chelsea more than happy. Messi, edge of the box. Cross. And Chelsea nearly getting away. Fionn Curtin makes a good point. Come on, Chelsea, get so tired we can smash you on Sunday. Well, there is that positive. There is that positive. Although it's only Tuesday, isn't it? It is only Tuesday, so they do get an extra day rest than United anyway. I think regardless of what happens tonight or tomorrow night, I think, you know, I've said for weeks United will beat Chelsea. It's going to be a brilliant build-up to that game. Because Conte and Mourinho, although I've seen Keegan and Sir Alex Ferguson and Benitez and Ferguson and, you know, Wenger and Ferguson, they have fallen out, but it's never been like that. You know, I've never been done for match fixing or he's senile. It's never been that personal. So there's no love lost between these two managers, and that in itself makes for a very, very heated encounter on Sunday. And I think it's going to... But we've got to get the Champions League out of the way first. Evie Burgess says Messi is a BTEC Lingard. I do just think in the Premier League, when he comes to England, he very rarely turns it on. I think he's done it against Arsenal a couple of times, but haven't we all? He very rarely turns it on. And it's a bit like international football as well. Lovely goal by Willian. I'm a big fan of Willian. I think he's a great player. And doesn't always get picked by Chelsea either. English Patriot says United won't beat Chelsea. Liverpool versus Manchester United in the Youth Cup tomorrow. I'm tempted to do a watch along for it. I'll see how we go. Because it's Nicky Butt against Steven Gerrard, isn't it? I am tempted. And it's on BT, so... yeah, why not? Be a long day if I do it, but why not? Super Chat is available on this channel, Jason. I just don't talk about it much. We're 4 subscribers short of 22,500, so I think my expectation that we might get 23,000 was probably a little bit United Stand mentality. But please do subscribe. Let's hit that landmark anyway. And it's 2:45 tomorrow. Let me give you some details on that because there's a player injured at the moment. It's the UEFA Youth Cup, and it's between Manchester United and Liverpool. Kicks off at 3 o'clock tomorrow at Prenton Park. And hold on. Be a long day to... I mean, I'll probably watch it anyway, so I just don't see... why not? Why not? I don't know whether Chong and Gomez are playing it. I'm not sure. They tend to flick between the teams a little bit. So under 23s normally play on a Friday. When's the second leg of that? I thought that was on a Friday as well. Lucas Taylor. I am tempted to do the watch along for it tomorrow. I am tempted to do it. I don't see a problem doing it. I suppose just do it on this channel or the normal channel, I don't know. Millwall are beating Sheffield Wednesday 2-1, says Jack. How's Hazard been, says Fionn? He's been alright. Willian's got a smack in the nose at the moment, he's bleeding. There's only 20 minutes to go left in this game. Dembele's warming up, says Fionn. Willian is definitely a player we should have pushed to get, says Google. I think we did, but maybe Chelsea didn't want him. You know, after Matic, I don't think they want him to go. And you know what? In all honesty, I would rather we hadn't got Matic, got Fabinho, and then got Willian from Chelsea. I mean, that would have worked out better for United. Who would I take, Hazard or Willian? What a question from Blizzard Crushing. I think Blizzard Crushing. You'd have to take Hazard, wouldn't you? But I think Willian would be perfect for United. Iniesta into the box. Too many players. They're trying to pass the way through. This is Barcelona's problem, or if you don't like Barcelona, it's their Achilles heel. Is that they'll always try and pass their way through, and if they can't, they never throw it into the mixer. So the way things are looking at the moment, Chelsea looking good for this clean sheet. Hazard all day, every day, says Lamaya Sad. Lucas, yeah, I think we'll do it on the United stand tomorrow. Yeah, oh, fuck it. Let's just do it. Let's do it. Why not? Why not? Hazard to Madrid is done, says Osama Hazard. The thing about Eden Hazard is, and football's going to change, unless two young players come through that are of the standard of Messi or Ronaldo, The current set of players who are ready to come into the shoes of Messi and Ronaldo in the next 5 years are not near that standard. Like Hazard is nowhere near Messi. Although Chelsea are on a good break here. Can Willian put the cross? He's going to go himself. Bit greedy. Good tackle by PK. Probably should have looked at the cross for Kante. The break was on though, as many have said. Chelsea, Suarez going mad, saying he should have had a penalty. It's a bit like the boy who cried wolf, isn't it, Louis? You know, you've dived so much in your career that... oh no, terrible mistake. Messi, 1-1. Idiots. Absolute idiots. Terrible defensive mistake there by Chelsea. Chelsea switch off and Messi finishes. All that hard work done. Undone. I think it's Christensen who misses a tackle, but they're messing around. A silly pass out from the back. You never play a pass like that across your own bloody goal line. Was it Kante who played it? Awful. And it puts them in all sorts of problems. One. Gift, an absolute gift for Messi that was. I'd love to know who played that pass across. So Suarez was moaning about a penalty. Chelsea have got it over in the left back position, and somebody makes the decision to pass from left back all the way across towards the edge of the box. You never play it across that. Like, it's a hospital pass if it goes wrong, and it did. Iniesta, I think, nipped in, and Christensen slipped over, and then the cutback was there for Messi. Simple. But that's it. It's game. That's tie over. The away goal's there. That's it. All that hard work from Chelsea, that is deflating for them. They've absolutely messed it up. And I said a score draw, didn't I? I did say a score draw. But they've messed it up by just lack of concentration, stupidity. Really, really stupid. And I think Willian's going to have to come off because of a bleeding nose, which is even worse for them. But Suarez has had a booking because he wanted a penalty, but they scored literally seconds later. They're trying to do Willian's nose to keep him on the pitch. But from Chelsea's point of view, I think that's game over. I think that's game tie over, because that away goal, as we were talking about a few minutes ago, is absolutely massive. And you just can't switch off. And I think this is something I've been saying on the United Stand about Mourinho's style of play, and why, if he keeps playing defensive football, he will go the same way as Van Gaal and be sacked, because defensive football is not winning at the moment. Over 90 minutes, defensive teams cannot keep out attacking teams. They can't do it. The concentration levels are just not there anymore amongst the modern day defender. And that one little slip lets Barcelona in. And all that hard work of defending really hard, getting the goal, disappears on a bad decision, a lack of concentration. And that away goal just makes a massive difference now. Lucas Taylor says, couldn't be happier for Conte. Louise O'Donoghue says, Barcelona will just keep pressing and pressing, which they have. I mean, Chelsea, if they can get back in front, overlap with Moses, is he going to hit it? Good block, and he's kept it in, has he? No, goal kick. Ruben Singh, now Barcelona have got the momentum and also the away goal. I feel that they might score again, as they tend to do so after scoring once. Jack, I don't agree with you that Iniesta's the best midfielder in the world. I still think he's a very good midfielder, but I don't think he's the best in the world. I personally think that Real Madrid's midfield three is the best three in the world. Kroos and Modric and Casemiro is a brilliant... because it's not all about the individual, it's about the balance. And I think they've got the perfect balance in their midfield three. Mark, what's your favourite sandwich? Says Draughty Devil. Oh, I've got a ready. You know, it's not even. I'm not even gonna have to think about this. I love a good sandwich, but my favourite sandwich. It's like it's staged. My favourite sandwich is roast pork, stuffing, bit of gravy, and applesauce. Boom! Back of the net. Love it. Bayern Munich are 4-0 up against Besiktas, so that game is done and dusted. So there's a few teams that we know are in the Champions League quarterfinals already. Liverpool, Manchester City, Bayern Munich, probably Real Madrid. I'd say, even though this is only 1-1, Barcelona. That away goal kills it. What are Chelsea going to do in the new camp? 1-1. 1-1 suits. 1-1 and Barcelona are through. So, you know, what are Chelsea going to do in the new camp? They've got to score. Otherwise, they're out. So, this ties over, I think. Hemraj Batter has Hemraj Bat has subscribed. Welcome to the channel, Hemraj. If you are new, keep subscribing, get involved with That's Football. Lots of things coming up. I think there's going to be a card here for Rudiger, a yellow card. It kicked off a little bit. Barcelona are starting to dive a bit now on Sergi Roberto, who was linked with United. Oh, it looks worse than it is. He actually gets the ball first and his feet are planted on the ground. It just looks... he gets the ball. Chelsea can't park the bus at Nou Camp, says Adam T. They can't park the bus at the Nou Camp, Adam T, because if they do... Come here. I thought it was flying low then. I'm just stretching my legs back. If they do park the bus at the Nou Camp, then they're out. Because 1-1 and 0-0 in the Nou Camp sends them out. So they'd be very, very stupid to do that. Gary's just subscribed. Welcome to everybody. I've got 1,000 people watching again. Where have you all gone? It's because the game's got good. You've all been watching a bit of EastEnders, haven't you? And you've now decided, now I'm getting back on the watch-along because it's a good last 10 minutes to the game. Messi and Willian. So it's been a tough one, this game, to be fair, to work through, but we've been rewarded. Draughty Devil isn't a mod, but he certainly should be, so if he wants to be, he is now. But we've been rewarded by sticking with this game. Certainly not up to the standards of the PSG Real Madrid game or the Spurs Juventus, but it's quite stretched now. And here's Hazard. He's got to move quick here. He's got 2 on him. He's going to have 3 on him, and he's had to pass backwards to Moses. And Barcelona have got everybody back now. They were pushing for another goal, Barcelona. I mean, if Barcelona get a second, it's good night, Chelsea. But with 10 minutes to go, I suppose the most important thing to sort of discuss is what... it's not just for United. It's not just, obviously, get your words out. This is not a United fan channel. That's the United stand. But we do know Manchester United are playing Chelsea on Sunday. So it was also a very good thing, personally, to have a watch of Chelsea and see, what they could do on Sunday at Old Trafford. And... one thing I would say about Chelsea is a very mobile team. They like to put a tackle in, and that straight away can be a good thing against United, who aren't the most mobile and don't win a lot of second balls. So, intriguing. Happy birthday, Mark, says Fortune. The old ones are the best. Lamaya Syed loves games like this. It's been, I love this. Morata's come on for Pedro. So they'll probably chuck Hazard out wide and Morata up front. Well, they will do. I've just seen them do it. But from Chelsea's point of view, it's a real kick in the teeth. The game plan is out of the window as things stand. Because Messi has ruined the party for Chelsea. Who had the perfect game plan? It was nearly a masterpiece. Now it's turned into a mantelpiece. Sorry everybody for my ignorant quiet there, but I was just having a quick look at something. Chelsea have a bit of a chance here. I still think, well, obviously Chelsea would like 2-1 rather than 1-1. I think at 1-1 it's over. At least 2-1 gives them something to sit back and park the bus. But 1-1's a bloody nightmare for Chelsea because they've got to go to the new camp and score, and that means they've got to do something which will force them out, which will allow Barcelona more space, which they'll get plenty of in the new camp anyway. But it's been a messy finish at Chelsea so far. I've been wanting to say that for about 10 minutes. And now I have. What have we got? Oh, we've had a contribution from Jason Garber. He says, Mark, as good as Sanchez is, would Willian have got to give us better balance? Martial left, Lukaku up front, Willian on the right. Yeah, it's not always about the quantity of your. It's not always about the individual. It's about the quantity of your parts. Is what I was trying to say. And yes, I'd agree with you that a player such as Willian on the right with Martial on the left, for me, would have made a lot more sense. We've suddenly had a massive boost in the viewing figures. We're up to 1,400, which is great. So I'm just going to shamelessly say, subscribe to the channel. This is That's Football. It's a fairly new channel where we're going to be watching a lot of football games. So if you love football and you want to get involved with the community, click that subscribe button and get involved. We'll have daily content coming up on this channel from Thursday. And also, if you're a United fan, we've established tonight that tomorrow at 3 o'clock we're going to do a watch-along for Liverpool Youth versus Manchester United Youth in the Champions League Youth Cup at 3 o'clock. So we make decisions on here as well. So don't miss that on the United Stand tomorrow. But more importantly, don't subscribe. Do subscribe to this channel. We're smashing our way towards 23,000. So if you haven't subscribed yet, click subscribe. Let's see how far we can go in the final few minutes of this. And as promised, I will be doing a match reaction to this game, which is very exciting as well. I'm just going to set that up in the last few minutes. In relation to the game, Chelsea will just feel, I think, quite not hard done by, because you get what you reap, what you sow. But they did have a really good plan, and that lack of concentration just has undone them, really. Has really undone them. So we're Chelsea 1, Barcelona 1 at the moment. And Willian and goals. Willian goal. Well, I think it means advantage Barcelona at the moment. Big advantage. Four goals in 7 matches for Messi. I just think Messi just doesn't do it in England that well. I know he scored, but it was a pretty much a tap pin for him. But my big but on this, I've got a big but. My big but on this is that regardless of that goal from Barcelona, if you are Manchester City or, well, maybe even Real Madrid if they're finding some form, I don't think that Barcelona team is anything to worry about. If you've got a good defence and you want to have a go at them as well, I don't think they're that good. I don't, and maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, and we'll find out. But Chelsea have done a good job on them tonight, and they'll feel very aggrieved that they've lost it. And it will feel like a loss because away goals in the Champions League are massive. A score draw away from home, as we'll see with Manchester United tomorrow if they can get one, like a win. A score draw is like a win because those away goals are precious, and it will mean a lot. Because this was the tie where Chelsea, if they were going to have a chance, really needed to prove something. And they very nearly did. They whacked the post twice, but ultimately nothing much doing afterwards. Oh, considering Chelsea were massively underdogs, says Lamia Syed, they have done well. Kieran Byrne, if Ashley Young starts against us, Chelsea, Willian will absolutely destroy us. And Barca have an ageing squad, says Shaka Phillips. They have. I don't think we saw Dembele come on either, did we? They didn't go with that one. Clarence Song feels that Chelsea have got one more chance. I'd be very surprised. 2 minutes to go. I'm just doing a couple of bits of admin and I'm now going to come back to you. I just want to say thanks to everybody who's joined us tonight. No United Stand stream because I wanted to watch this game and I know a lot of you've come over from there to watch it, so that's great. I hope it's been a good advert for what That's Football's all about, and if you have enjoyed it, make sure you have hit that subscribe button and got involved, because I think there's a lot more things we want to do on here, and that will be aided by building another great community on here. So thanks everybody who's got involved. Let's have a quick look at something here. It's funny some of the stuff you see on YouTube, isn't it? I'll give you my man of match. I have got a man of the match. I'll do that in my match reaction. The link to the match reaction is in the top line of the video description, or you can go through the home page. It's called Messi finishes Chelsea. Messi finished Chelsea or something like that. Tie over. So we'll be talking about that. Drogba Devil says subscribe. Yeah, please do subscribe if you're new. Get involved. And remember, if you're a United fan, tomorrow's a big day. 3 o'clock, we're going to be live on the United Stand doing Liverpool versus Manchester United in the Youth Cup Champions League, which is going to be great because it's Gerrard's team against Nicky Butt, I think. And also, tomorrow night is Manchester United versus Sevilla, so I need to rest my voice because it's going to be a very, very big game. Big game. But I will be doing a match reaction straight after this. So go through the link in the video description. You can tell us all your man of the match and thoughts on that. And yeah, really enjoyed it. Lots of people getting involved. Really enjoyed the community. Good chats. Dublin Underworld. The World Cup. Drogba. But this game is finished. This game is over. And I'll tell you what I think. What I really think. Shortly on my match reaction stream. But I do just want to say thanks to everybody, because this channel, much like the United Stand, is nothing without the live comments. Without the live comments, it's just me talking to myself. So really great. Thanks to everybody for getting involved. If you've subscribed, that's brilliant. We'll have pretty much daily content coming up on here, probably from tomorrow. I think I'm going to put something up tomorrow, but it might be a busy day as well. Birthday thoughts, says All Things Football. I've got a birthday message for you all, but that'll be on the live reaction stream. You can go over and wait for me there. I'll be 60 seconds, no more. Link in the video description for that, top line, and I'll see you in a moment with my man of the match, my thoughts on the tie. Yes, looking forward to it. I'll see you in 60 seconds. It's gone in 60 seconds, back in 60 seconds. See you in 60 seconds.